of the best community teams in the country. Duking it out here. Lone Star Quidditch Club in the top 10 when it comes to the USQ rankings. Rochester United right up there with them. Very good team, very quality team this season. They have gone a grand total of 16-6 this season. This is their third year in existence. A couple years ago, they found themselves all the way to the finals of US Quidditch Cup 9, where they faced off against QC Boston, who at the time were known as the Massacre. They fell in that game in overtime. It was a brutal loss for Rochester United, but definitely one of the most prominent rise to stardom type games for Rochester United. Played in 4 tournaments. They played in 4 different tournaments this season. They made it to a couple of finals. They went to Oktoberfest and lost to QC Boston 100-80. That was a snitch range game, as we are just a couple of moments away from brooms up, as Jackson will be out there at the beater position. And it looks like Rochester United is going to get a free run at the hoops here. A beat up top, and Rochester United leads 10-0 early on. Jackson has his bludger all the way across pitch thrown, and it looks like they're trying to get a 2-male beater set. Lone Star QC will now have bludger control as they come up for their first offensive possession. Lone Star with great expectations coming into this season. As always, a team that is a threat to win the Southwest at any given point. They won 3 consecutive Southwest championships. Stevie Bell, their starting keeper, is now into the game. You see him up top with a green headband on. He's defended and actually takes a shot off the mid-hoop, which is really impressive because the wind is blowing really hard. As a matter of fact, blowing, if you're looking onto the pitch, down upon the pitch, it's blowing right to left. If you're talking about directional angles, that chaser who was in front of him defending it was John Jackson, highly touted keeper/chaser for Rochester United, was on that defensive effort there. Stevie Bell took that shot off the mid, who came up with that one. This game is tied up 10-10. Rochester United, Molly gets a dodge on a beat. Now she's turning around to create some pressure on the bludger position. That's thrown into the backcourt, and it'll be the first reset for Rochester United. They're going to look for a pass up top and a tackle to go along with it. They'll find one, and it looks like there's going to be a jersey. Wow, that looked like a pretty intense jersey pull, but now on the drive and looking for the finish, it's Rochester United. They floated over the top. He gets it to Shane Holbert, their other keeper out there. He's driving, looking for a shot, gets it in front of the keeper, and gets it over to John Jackson for the goal to make it 20-10 in favor of Rochester United. Great read on that play, great driving kick as well to go along with it for Rochester United. Not only getting away from bludger control that was had by Lone Star, but punishing them for missing on one of those throws. Molly Linsing avoided one bludger throw from Rochester United, turned that into some beater pressure on the far side of the pitch, and actually forced Rochester. And now she's being tackled just in front of the keeper zone. All the bludgers are down, and now Lone Star trying to come up with that. Rochester United, heavy contact in front of the hoops, taken down, losing control, and a throw and catch. Nice vision, even though he was down on the ground, looking up towards on the right-hand side and finishing through the hoop. Great effort. That was finished by Dorsett. Holbert into the game. Shane Holbert, formerly of Team USA. Last rendition of Team USA, which was 2 years ago. It is a World Cup year. He was formerly of the IRT Dark Marks. Now on the drive off the left-hand side, and it looks like a tackle that could have been called an illegal one over the shoulder, a drive and a kick, and now he dunks on the short hoop. They're going to call the goal no good, and they're actually going to poke the ball loose. Now Rochester United looking for a bigger lead. A tackle up front. One keeper is down. One chaser is down as well. Back up at it, and now Dorsett almost got away with another tackle there as Shane Bell is able to get the ball, get an arm where the quaffle was on one side here, gets the ball stripped away, and Rochester United misses another shot. This one going to be run down, scooped up, and now on the attack off the middle portion of the hoops, trying to look for a pass. Shane Holbert is going to try and run one down. It looks like Stevie Bell's going to be beaten, sent back to the hoops here, and they're going to track back all the way to a mid-pitch. And that was, of course, Shane Holbert back there as John Jackson got him a pass. He tries to make a pass back up top to his guy, Devin Sandin. He can't come up with it, but after he scoops it back up, he finishes off the mid-hoop. Great shot. First entry into the game, first shot, and he's shooting at a 100% clip. Jackson is going to kick a ball right into the face of Shandon, which actually keeps all 3 bludgers on the side of Rochester United instead of what Jackson intended was to get the ball back to one of his teammates to be able to get them somebody to protect Stevie Bell. Jackson's now going to track back into this one after tagging back in after being beat up front. Let's see what Rochester United does. They got 2 bludgers up top, and it looks like they're going to go with the side-by-side formation. A beat up top. Jackson gets a clean throw, and it looks like he's going to try and go after another beater. Bludger control goes back to Lone Star. Does the attack finish, though? We'll see as Cody Marshall on the drive. Spin move in front of the hoops. Get the ball stripped away for a second. Regains control. Excellent balance. Pulls away from a tackle attempt and finishes at the hoops. It's 30-20. 30 all here. 30 all. Sorry about that. 30-30 here. 30-30 early on in this matchup between Rochester United and the Lone Star Quidditch Club, who have been very good at taking this contact and giving some back. Rochester United has been, especially for a team not in the Southwest. Cody Marshall is going to come up with a nice defense up front, and it looks like there's going to be a run by Casey out the far right-hand side. Hesitation, turns back, gets away from one tackle. A screen set by Jackson. He's going to get a beat on one chaser. Cody Marshall driving in, trying to finish. Bludger on the way, but it won't be in time. Marshall is down in front of one of the hoops. He's going to slip the ball out right to a Rochester United player. It looked like it was Shandon who comes up with it. He's now scrumming for in front of where the little hoop used to be on top of the base, and now there's a fight for it. Now we got finally a penalty being called. Let's see what it is. It could be over the shoulder, which is a very common situation, especially since Devin Shandon rolled over. So the previous chasers who were in front of him are now in an illegal position. They're going to call him for reaching over the shoulder. Let's see who they say it is on. Or it could be Shane Holbert getting called for the reach. Jackson, either way, is right next to where Shandon was. They're going to reset the hoop, by the way. So an opportunity if Lone Star does come up with a quick possession to score on this one. We'll see what happens. They're going to let Shandon stand up, and there's going to be a fight for the ball. They're going to say it's mutual possession, and Shandon is beat. So a bludger going to come in very handy here, especially if possession is not held by Shane Holbert. Gregory is going to say they have to start standing up, not on one knee. And if possession is had by the keeper, remember it is keeper zone, that means he's invulnerable to the beat. So it's going to be a timing situation. Cody Marshall slips it away, and then Holbert tags back. Shandon tags back in, jumps right on top of it yet again, and he forces Lone Star to retreat back on defense. The Lone Star Quidditch Club, by the way, score here 30 all. One of the bludgers is loose. They're going to say Jackson is beat up top, and now bludger control still with Rochester United, and it's blocked by Gregory, and now he's on the attack. He's in transition. Should be an easy goal. No bludgers on the way except on the left-hand side, but he finishes off the mid-hoop, and it makes it 40-30 in favor of Lone Star Quidditch Club. Lone Star had a rough start to the season, as they usually do. It just wouldn't be Lone Star if they didn't start off the year getting trounced a couple of times by UT. But a totally different team in the second half of the year. Roster pickups, people rotating and making more tournaments as the season goes on, and you can see the effects of it. Sometimes it does affect the chemistry, but at the end of the day, it does pick it up. Michael Duquette, formerly of UT, now into the game. He actually just forced a quaffle turnover, and now Casey's on the drive. Great hesitation. Head fake to the right, drives in off the mid, and now it's going to be 50-30 in favor of Lone Star as they try to pull away here as the game continues on. Quick subs coming in, and it looks like Cody Kiefer is going to sub into the game for Rochester United. Number 99, he's got that knee brace on his right leg. He's rocking the soccer cleats. Those look like vapors. A near catch from Rochester United. A beat up top and a catch from Duquette. Forces another turnover of the quaffle. And wow, not only did he force a bludger out of position, got another catch up front, and then turned the ball over, got bludger control back for Lone Star, used it to force some pressure, and now Cody Marshall's got himself a tackle up front, and it looks like trying to get away. Another tackle, and this one coming from Gregory. Wow, Lone Star just undeterred by Rochester United's bludger control up front, and heavy contact from them, making them earn every single bit of it. The throw up front, and it looks like a drive and a kick. Oh, no, it's going to be a drive and a near score. Down on one knee and a kick over at the last second. Excellent read on that one from John Jackson. It looks like to his left-hand side, it was Alyssa Garasi for the score. Formerly the IRT Dark Marks as well. That makes the score 50-40 here. She's a cosplayer as well. Got into Quidditch via intramurals at IRT. And a beat up top and a block by Rochester United up front as well. Excellent effort defensively from Rochester United as this game has been back and forth. Vast majority of it. The beater exchange up front has been the deciding factor. Michael Duquette has been like a human tornado out there, beating everybody in sight. A throw over to Cody Kiefer, who he missed on. And now Bludger sub coming into the game, waiting for Duquette to come back in. And now looks like they're going to sub Duquette, of course, the target for a lot of defensive rotation. That was Dan Ghani over there waiting for Duquette to come back into play. Now Becca DuPont, she's got the shakes. She just got stripped behind the hoops, and a shot and a miss off the mid-hoop here. And it looks like Kiefer's going to be taken down by Grigori behind the hoops. Rochester United's going to reset their offense, and they are on their way back, and this one might be a reset. This might be a quaffle turnover here in a second. And onto the field, John Jackson is livid. They're going to give it back to Rochester United, a stoppage of play. And it looks like our head ref was using the old reset rule there, not the new version of it. New reset rule allows you to go back behind the half pitch one time per possession. Duquette running down Kiefer, beats him on the left-hand side over here, looking for a shot at the quaffle as he comes up over here. The throw was missed. Bludger control goes back to Lone Star, and a shot is made and finished on that one. That was Devin Sandin, chaser for Rochester United. Casey's going to sub out here for Lone Star, and Bludger control is back to Rochester United. They're going to go as side-by-side as they have. They're going to track down the one beater behind the hoops that's going for Lone Star. The wind takes her bludger throw, and now Rochester United is going to be able to defend one of the bludgers. A quick throw behind the hoops. Becca DuPont just got hit from behind by Rochester United. No call, and it looks like McLaren's going to make that pass behind the hoops, get away from one tackler, and now back over to McLaren. He's unbeat. He's going to be beat on the quad before he can make a pass. Rochester United gets a turnover, and Sandin is going to trot his way up the pitch on the left-hand side. Kiefer is back into the game. He's had to run vast majority of his time out here from being beat almost immediately. McLaren playing in trail position of the point chaser for Lone Star, and a throw from John Jackson. Hold on. Yes, that was John Jackson this time over the top of the hoop, and he missed it off the mid-size hoop, and he'll be tracking back. Looks like Becca DuPont is going to bring this ball up the pitch. She's going to get Stevie Bell to sub back into this game. He's got a pretty good shot. He's pretty slippery for a tall guy, and he runs on his tippy toes. So if you've ever seen Adrian Peterson of the NFL run, it allows you to cut at pretty much any given moment. And a throw to Becca DuPont, a cross-pitch shot on the short hoop. Wow, maybe the wind helped out a little bit there. Becca just let that one drop because, well, it went in. Looks like a 2-goal lead for Lone Star so far in this one, and Sandin trying to cut it down to a 1-goal lead. He takes off in the air, gets stripped midair. McLaren makes contact, and great hustle from Stevie Bell. Lone Star out in transition. Bludgers are down. Chasers are out front, but it won't stop Bell. He comes around behind the hoops, and it looked like he may have taken contact from Herbert for a second there, as Herbert's elbow went into the back of Stevie Bell for some reason, and Stevie going to tap his chest, saying he should have gone on the front side of the hoops, as he looked like he had a free run at him. But Herbert, good job for him tracking down, allowing Stevie to run himself to one location instead of staying middle and making all three hoops an option for him. McLaren with a nice defensive hustle and stop. He's able to not only tip that ball away from a cutting chaser, but come up with it. Looks like he might even have a score here. Can he make it one-on-one on the attack off the middle? Looks like a nice shot from Cody Marshall. And a finish. Sorry, that was Luke Lucknells. Throw up front, no catch. Bludger control, bludger pressure on the way for Lone Star here in a second. As soon as the ball is grabbed, they're looking over on the left-hand side. They got Hurlbut coming across the pitch. He's got one bludger in his possession. Both beaters are going to come up with him, so they're looking for one to distract. Who they're going to pick looks like they're going to go for Molly Lindsay and time up the beat on the point chaser with trying to attack Molly. It did not work. They did beat the point chaser, but Molly was ready, actually paying attention, and now rotating over to that first pass, forcing a pass behind the hoops and leaving it up for Craig to come up with a nice tackle in front, but with his back turned to the chaser. Excellent hustle. Molly loses her bludger, and now the Quaffle is loose behind on the right-hand side. Lone Star trying to get a defensive stop. Excellent stop from Craig behind the hoops on the small side. Now a throw up front. Can Rochester turn this into a goal? They got two bludgers back there waiting to come up with possession. Ooh, nice move there. Finesse. Stopping the Quaffle with the bludger. And that was Sally Smasher. Comes up with that. Great name, Smasher. Rochester United behind, beating a ton of point chasers down, walking this ball forward. Can Craig, who's come off of his come off the line, behind the hoops over there, behind the hoops throw, and now a tackle attempt. Now Craig comes up with a catch in front of the hoops as they attempted to get the ball back to Herbert. Stevie Bell waiting for somebody to get up front. Luke Canellis is going to get that one. Craig Garrison going to be allowed to bring the ball up the pitch once again. And a nice throw behind the hoops. Nice look from Luke. Not only after the bobbled catch, but also saw the bludger coming, drew the beat, and made a pass, made a throw that would allow his teammate to make that quick catch. Back into the game is Kiefer. On the attack is Hurlbut. He's going to be scooped up, beat before. He's going to be beat before. He made that pass and the goal was scored. They're going to call the goal no good. And one of the ARs is calling the goal no good. They have not stopped play. That Holbert was beat before he got hit in the back. They're going to call the goal no good and allow Lone Star to play on without stoppage of play. They're going to, and now Lone Star is over here. There was no whistle from either of the rest. They're going to call the goal no good while play is going on, and they're checking over at the scorer's table. And now they have to, looks like the scorekeeper is going to wait for a call from the head ref as opposed to changing what they thought happened. So they're going to let the head ref call it, and they haven't corrected it just yet. Lone Star's operating with one hoop down. Cody Marshall up top. Pushed behind the hoops, walking a tightrope, but if he's forced backwards, it's no contest. According to the rule from USQ, he is allowed to track backwards if somebody makes contact with it. Now Craig slips away from one chaser, drives in. It looks like bludger control is going to defer him from trying to score that, as one of the bludgers was thrown back to the mid-hoop stop and now possessed. Now they're going to have Savvy come up. Looks like she's going to try and take a shot at Smasher on the left-hand side, the female beater. And now a change-up. Jackson going to throw it back at the last second. Beat up top. Recovery on that one by Savvy. She's going to be beat. Jackson's going to come up with the ball. All three bludgers are actually down right now. Lone Star with an opportunity to score. Didn't take it. They're going to wait for the beaters to get back into the game. A throw over to the far side of the field. Marshall is going to run the perimeter, try to find an opportunity where the beater is out of position but won't come up with anything. This is a long possession. Stevie Bell's going to catch it over the left-hand side. Slip over to there. Get it back up top. Craig Garrison going to regain possession. Drive in. See if his beaters can force anything. Jackson wreaking havoc behind the hoops. One bludger's going flying all the way towards the hard boundary. The other one is near the keeper zone. At the 15-minute mark of this game here, and Lone Star currently leading by just 2 goals. This game is within snitch range. Behind the hoops to Garrison. A throw over to him. He makes a long, sharp pass over to Stevie Bell on the opposite side of the pitch. Stevie looks like he got beat as he tried to turn away. Kiefer with a nice, solid tackle on Stevie, not letting him slip away. Holding him up just enough for the beater to get back into the play. That beater, by the way, Kyle Savarsi. Duquette trying to make a catch. Pump fake up top. Duquette beats Savarsi on the back as he got a deflection up front. Bludger control lies with Lone Star. Now a throw from Duquette is going to be errant. Now it looks like Garrison's going to get a free run at the hoops. No, Savarsi's up there ready to come up with possession. He throws it backwards, and now it looks like Rochester United's going to get a free run. Just took a kick. Oh, that might be called as that is going to be a kick near a player's hand while the quaffle was loose. The player in question, Brad Whipple, for Rochester United. Quaffle is loose near him, and this might be a yellow card. as Lone Star is having a conversation about the score, and there's going to be a yellow card administered here. There was a kick on a loose quaffle while there was a chaser, Brad Whipple, who we saw pick up that loose quaffle. It was kicked away from him, but the kick being near his hand is a dangerous play, and should be allotted to be called a yellow card in this situation, especially if the official said that there was contact on the hand. Snitch getting mentally ready to go out here and get ready to work. Rochester United score is currently on the official scoreboard 80-60. 80-60 in snitch range. Lone Star in their first pool play game of the day. Rochester United has been bringing the pain as they have got some very Southwest-like qualities if you're familiar with the brand of Quidditch Southwest Quidditch teams usually play. High intensity and also heavy contact. Rochester United is showing that they can hang with the best of them. Great hustle from them so far. And not only that, great gang tackling, as we've seen some pretty impressive ones here today. Couple of subs into the game. New beater core. I'm sorry, one new beater and a new chaser into the game. That new beater is number 18. That's Dan Gagne out front, and now it looks like Herbert is going to get a free run at the hoops. He'll make it 80-70 in this game. Herbert gets away from a tackle up front. It looks like it was Cody Marshall who tried to come up with that. He ran out of it, switched hands on the quaffle. Great finesse play on that one. Rochester United played in the Tournament of the Stars earlier this year, got a 160-80 loss to the Miami of Ohio team that they played in the semifinals. TJ Goalie, a guy looking to impress here today, not only to get a win for his team, but to also try and secure a spot on Team USA for the Redeem Team 2018. TJ Goalie, one of the best seekers in the Southwest, if not the best seeker, formerly at Sam Houston State University. Cody Marshall's going to run down a quaffle that looked like it was rolling off the hard. Yeah, it should be a quaffle turnover off the hard boundary. And it is indeed. A beater play up front. The whistle was not loud enough. Also, the wind is going to take the sound a little bit there, so the beaters are still interacting with each other, and the ARs are going to reposition them. I think they're going to say Duquette is still within the field of play. There's going to be a bludger between Duquette, Michael Duquette of UT over here. He's the beater, number 32. He's going to be in a rundown situation. Run for that quaffle. Jackson comes up with a two-male beater, by the way, for Lone Star in this game. 80-70 between Lone Star and Rochester United, who came into this game highly touted, very good team. Now bludger control lies with them. Duquette gets a beat on the fast chaser for Rochester United. A dodge up front. Jackson with the help. A throw over to Jackson. They're trying to get it from the short side of the pitch over here. Looks like Herbert's going to come up with possession on the far right-hand side. Seekers are about to be released 8 seconds from now. Cody Kiefer, by the way, in that World Cup 9 matchup. And they're going to say TJ Goldie is beat immediately. Duquette trying to fight for bludger control. With Snitch on pitch in action over there. Now Jackson getting a pass. Oh, and a nice grab from Becca DuPont, the female chaser for Lone Star over there, to intercept a pass intended for Herbert. And now a quick score from Lone Star to create a cushion, a 90-70 cushion to be precise. Craig Garrison about to sub in at seeker in just a couple of goes from TJ Goldie to make sure that he stays fresh. As you can see, our snitch out there, very Texas-oriented. Remember, the snitch is worth 30 points. So this game currently 90-70. Anybody can pull the snitch. TJ Goldie trying to get to it very quickly. Going to get some alone time as Jackson, formerly at Texas State, is going to defend him well. And a nice shot and throw. They're going to say the goal is no good from Jackson. Herbert is livid just beyond the keeper zone. They're going to say it's no good. They're going to say he was beat, and now Grigori is on the attack. Great move up front, kicked it over to Marshall. Marshall with a one-handed grab, and a nice tackle from Herbert. Becca DuPont's behind the hoops. Marshall can't wind up his arm. As you can see, Herbert's got him wrapped up. Now driving off the far right-hand side. He looks like there was head contact. Yeah, there's going to be a call. There's a hand up for advantage in case Marshall escaped there. But there is a call for Jackson. He had Marshall around the neck. That's pretty cut and dry. Jackson, believe it or not, John Jackson out there, formerly of the Harvard Horntails. Didn't know they made hard hitters at Harvard like that. That guy's pretty smart and pretty tough to go along with it. As the Rochester United offensive lineup in terms of chasers has been using both of their star keepers out here on offense. Behind the hoops, a shot from Marshall. Becca DuPont scoops it up. Herbert looks like he may have made back contact, but that's not the case. Gregori's got it scooped up, running the perimeter. Herbert's the only guy who can stop him. Cuts back in, looks for another opportunity, gets off the short hoop, and they're going to call that one good. It's a 3-goal lead for Lone Star. Oh, man, and it looks like Kiefer tried to dive. Cody Kiefer tried to dive at the snitch there, tripped him up for a second. Send him back to the hoops. Beat up top. Even if he had caught the snitch in that situation, because he knocked the snitch down, it would be called no good. By the way, they're pulling for overtime. Kiefer trying to swing on this one. He's going to get beat on the calf. Sent backwards. Craig Garrison lifted and thrown off of his broom to get away from one of the snitches here. Beat up top, Michael Duquette with a one-handed catch to keep it in bludger control for Lone Star, and then tries to make a push beat off of Kiefer, and Kiefer trying to protect. Now another attack. Stevie Bell looks like he's about to increase this lead to 40, and he will. It's a 40-point lead for Lone Star. A team averaging over 100 points per game, and it's usually at this point where you get to see some of the athletic speed come into play here, especially with the kind of cuts that these guys can make in front of the hoops. Bludger control, dual male beater positioning for Lone Star in terms of formation. Jackson going to track back and actually get in on some quaffle play as Herbert's going to get wrapped up by Casey. Can he score? Stevie Bell ran past the arm of Herbert where he was trying to lock up that quaffle, and he's able to slip it into the hoops there. And now Jackson's going to get a beat up top and make the Rochester United beaters run, and he's going to say that it was kicked illegally. Duquette yelling something. I'm sorry, that's a bludger turnover over to Michael Duquette in front of the hoop. Stevie Bell trying to run down here, over here. Swims his arm over the top, and it's a 50-point lead for Lone Star. They have exploded offensively just mere minutes into this game. Duquette about to sub out. You see him put that one finger up, symbolizing he's got about one more possession in him before he needs to sub out and get a break. As Rochester United and Snitch on pitch, they're starting to get run off the pitch here. That's what it seems like. The beater exchange up top. They can't maintain control of the bludgers, and they can't get any scores. And now, as I say that, John Jackson's got a one-on-one up top. He's going to slip past one tackle attempt and finish up top. The pressure from Lone Star to make those near-perfect passes is on, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson has possession of one bludger, and TJ Goalie will sub out. He is going to sit down immediately. He's going to retie his cleat. He's pretty tired. He's got a couple of runs. I want to say about 6 or 7 runs at the snitch there. Stevie Bell coming across mid-pitch, slowing it down significantly. A new lineup in for Rochester United. Jackson is up top on defense. Reaches out, tries to swipe at Bell. He jumps to the left-hand side, gets to a one-on-one beater position. A nice throw over to Casey, right into the bucket. A shot and a finish. $140-90, our score here on the attack. Stevie Bell out of his keeper zone playing point chaser up front, working on some defense. He gets spun around for a second, and Herbert gets hit on the back. It should be, oh no, they're going to say it was missed. That looked like he got hit on the back there, and the ball deflected. Lone Star is going to scrum this one up behind the hoop. Stevie Bell running over to help out Becca DuPont, who's now subbed into the game. Bludgers are in control of Rochester United for just a second. In particular, right here, you see Josh Kramer with one bludger trying to fight his way as a tackle is being attempted upon him, and now he's got the beater beat. Will Roth for Lone Star going to tap the point chaser for Rochester United right now, as they've got a different lineup here. Sandin, who we saw early on in this game have a big part of the offense, got so close to scoring a couple of times, just couldn't come up with it. TJ Goalie swipes with his off arm that's not being occupied by the snitch as he gets shoved out here. trying to get the timing of the Snitch's push. And the Snitch is doing a good job of changing it up constantly, so you can't allow the Seeker TJ Goldie in that situation to switch it up all the time. He's up front, and now Rochester United is defending. This is almost a near impossible situation in defending. It's almost a near impossible catch situation for most Seekers because there's forearms now trying to push you off of catching that Snitch. Rochester United makes a pass over in front of the Lone Star bench. They clear out of the way. There's a tackle up front, and it's a near off-pitch tackle, and it is an off-pitch tackle on Dorsett. He's going to be sent to the box. He was really close to the hard boundary, and really close to the hard boundary over here, and it might be a player down for this next play. Remember, the yellow card symbolizes 1 minute in the box. Dorsett will head over to the penalty box near the scorer's table. They'll be counting down 1 minute. Of course, that 1 minute is completely wiped away if the opposing team scores a goal before the 1 minute elapses. Dorsett will be allowed back into the game. Looks like it's going to be a quaffle turnover. Oh, no, it's not going to be a quaffle turnover. They're going to reset this play in front of our broadcast booth over here. That chaser, by the way, that's Alyssa Girasso. She gets it back up top like she would in most cases. Herbert comes up with it. He's coming across the perimeter over here. Bludger control was with Lone Star, and you see this every time. Lone Star misses a throw. They immediately tackle the opposing beater to force a bad throw from them up top to occupy the beater to give their defense a chance to recover. A smart tactic. Don't see that too often, especially at the college level, even more so the community level. A lot of teams, a lot of beaters opposed to contact sometimes as Hillworth comes up. Stevie Bell trying to get another goal out here as Devin Sandin is defending him pretty well. Turned him back for a second. But you have to also remember when Lone Star has possession on offense, it allows them to not have beaters run over and help them back to defend the hoops. So they're allowed to give TJ Goldie some alone time offensively. Dorsett's 1 minute is going to elapse after the offensive possession for Lone Star, something they practice all the time, killing penalties out here, killing any attempt that a team has to try and score when they're down a man, which is really impressive in Quidditch because usually the score happens right after. Luckily, Dorsett's penalty was too far away from the hoops for anything to be scored, and TJ Goldie slips down on the backside of the Snitch there. After he gets shoved down, he got a catch. Is it going to be clean? Will it be a win? We'll see here in a second. TJ Goldie looking for his first catch of the day. And I'm not talking about fish. TJ Goldie, an elite level seeker, formerly of Sam Houston State University, who was playing over here on pitch 2 just a couple of seconds ago, as we are talking community play. And it is going to be a clean catch. TJ Goldie and Lone Star are victorious. Rochester United goes down to Lone Star in the first game of pool play. We're going to check on the official final score here in just a second. 170-90, our highest scoring affair here on pitch 1 today. 170-90. Rochester United falls to Lone Star. Final score in that one. Thank you all for listening here. Our next game will be up and at 'em here in just a couple of seconds as the Nomads are walking around on the pitch here. And just saw Ethan Strum, so usually good things happen when he's around here. Usually you're at the right game. Lone Star got off to a rough start there, but at the end of the day, ran away with it in snitch on pitch fashion. 170-90, the final score here. A snitch catch from TJ Goldie.